Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and I apologize that we're a little late. We had technical difficulties. So, what we're doing tonight is planning traffic, and we do this every Thursday night. So, check us out on YouTube and live on Facebook. And please like, share, and subscribe. Help us out. That'll help our channel and help us keep doing this for a longer period of time. What's up, fellas?
That's because we love doing this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's
It's
going
like
on, guys?
how you doing, Brian?
Crazy,
So,
man.
So tonight we're talking about road racing and rallies that we have in this country. Or actually, they have them all over the place, but we do a lot here in this country. And I asked the group of guys that hang out with us what topic we should have tonight. So Paul called me and said, "Let's talk about the rallies." And I've been in several of them, and they are incredible experience to do. I was in the Gold Rush, I was in the Black Diamond, and I was in the what was the other one? Motor City Gumball.
Okay.
The Motor City Gumball, we raced from Detroit to Indianapolis, and we got there pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, these rallies, you meet a lot of interesting people from all around the world, from all different backgrounds. It's a nice experience to be able to do that. Most of them are rich. You know, you got a couple guys that aren't rich like me that was in it. But we had a good time. We raced down and, you race point to point, then you spend the night, then you race to another point, spend the night. You know, the big one is the Gold Rush that they race from Las Vegas to New York.
Wow.
Or one year I was messing with them. That's what we did. So I didn't go this far, but they started in Las Vegas and they raced to Denver. Then they loaded all the cars up on a plane and flew them to Chicago, and everybody flew to Chicago and went from there on to New York.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's where I met. I went over to Chicago and joined there and drove over.
Now, on the converse of that, I've done a lot of local road rallies. You know, nothing like the scope of what you're talking about, but we have to follow a set of directions that are timed and metered and whatever. And then, it's not really a race; it's a matter of completing the course and maybe hitting certain things along the way. So I've done a bunch of those, and they were a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
But the big ones must be a total blast.
Well, that all comes down to endurance and your equipment and there's a lot that goes into it, and just physically, mentally, along with the car or the vehicle to be ready to do all that.
See, that's the thing. You can do those. I guess you can do the bigger ones too, but I know you can do the local ones in a Cobra or a T-bucket, but you could do it in a Lincoln Continental with AC too. The car doesn't matter because you're not going for speed. You're going for, hitting your time checkpoints.
Yeah, so, and
cool.
What's nice about cross country is you stop at different businesses.
Yeah.
And you'll have like a restaurant. Maybe you meet at a restaurant or a company. Like I did one in Canada, and we stopped at the Lamborghini dealer. Wow. So we stopped there, and they had food and food trucks and games and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice for communities too. So if you have a road rally coming through, it could pump up a city. You know what I mean?
Sure. That just reminded me. Again, I've done the local rallies, even on a motorcycle. But when I went to a national motorcycle rally with the BMW club that I'm in. It was up in Rhinebeck, and I happened to read some of the local papers, and they were saying how the BMW rally was in town, and I forget how many riders there were, maybe like 50, 60,000.
Yeah.
But they said it pumped up the economy by like $2 million
in
a weekend. Yep. And they said, we welcome these people back because that brought a ton. Because you're going to go out you got to eat, and you got to shop.
Fuel.
And, women want to go do stuff, so it really does bring a lot of money into the local economy.
Yeah, it does. Yep. And the police department makes a lot of money too because they get a lot of tickets popping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a story. I raced in the Black Diamond in Canada, and we went from Toronto and we went north to Ottawa, and then came back down to Syracuse, New York, and back over to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
So we stopped at a couple different places and spent the night. It was like a 4-day or 5-day run.
Yeah.
And so we got to one checkpoint and a couple of drivers didn't make it. They were like, we were kind of worried about them. Where they're at. So they show up a little bit later that night. And this one kid, he was in his 20s, him and his girlfriend, they were driving a Ferrari. And he said they got pulled over and you should have seen, I got a picture. I got to find a picture. He held up his tickets and he had them over his head and they touched the floor.
Wow.
And he said that they were going to lock him up, but his dad knew somebody. His dad was, a big dog somewhere and got him out of it.
Yeah.
And they took his car and everything. They were going to put him under the jail. Canada don't mess around with that speed stuff. But he ended up showing up later on. His dad got him out of it. But you should have seen the tickets. I got to find a picture. Next week I'll have a picture.
That's funny.
Yep. It's another thing is you become friends. Like I'm still a lot of friends. I'm still friends with a lot of people from these races.
Oh,
like
sure.
good friends. Like we became like really good friends.
Right.
When I go places, I'll meet up with them and we'll maybe go out to eat or something, stuff like
They
that.
call that partners in crime.
Yeah. That's about
And
it.
other things.
So, it's a good experience. Even if you're not going fast, I was driving a Hummer, so I wasn't going real fast.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole atmosphere was cool.
Right. It is.
Yep. Good people, a lot of good people.
Have you ever done anything like that, Brian?
No, I haven't. It'd be interesting, like I said, to do something like that.
Sure.
Again, just really haven't. I never
do it in the tool truck.
I tell you, that would be a heck of a ride. I'm used to it because that's my daily driver, and I drive it all the time. People that ride with me, they had to wear a kidney belt or they get bounced around a little bit. But I guess I call myself the cleanup-er. I can just go by and pick up all the pieces when they fall off.
Yeah. Or hand the tools out.
Yep, when they need to get it fixed. So,
yeah, I have a couple stories, man. I got a whole bunch of them, really. It's a good experience. I mean, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where I met Ice-T is on a rally up in New York. It was I think it was Gold Rush, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was either Gold Rush or one of the big dollar ones, where everybody's driving $300,000 cars.
Yeah. Well, the funny part when you talk about Riley, the road racing or rally. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's funny when you look at all the sponsorships and the cars are in there. And of course, I don't have the race cars, but I did get one today. And as you can see, it's a Datsun 510.
Yeah.
Oh, those are badass.
And it's set up as a road rally car. I mean,
Yeah.
It's
hold
kind of
it
funny.
back up there so I can see. Oh, that's so badass.
I've told the story before. I had a Datsun 510 that was in great shape, and I had no idea of its rally history.
Yeah.
And when I sold it, I was just looking at, and it was a 4-speed car too. It was a stick. A father and son came and bought it. They didn't try to get me down a dime. They just paid for it and ran.
Yeah.
And I found out why. It's like I probably could have got, a hell of a lot more for the car just based on its heritage, but I didn't know.
But it's, it's funny when you look at
gentleman in Rockville, I want to say Cap Circle, in the warehousing shops that were all back in there, who had a Datsun shop, and he had a couple of those cars. He also had a couple, and when I say a couple, there was probably 6 when I saw in his shop 20 years ago. Late 60s Datsun 1600 Fairladies.
Oh yeah,
Wow, yeah.
big dollar car.
So, Paul, you brought the topic up. What is your experiences with the
Well,
rally?
I've never done any road rallies. I've never done anything official. What I've done is sat down and looked at a map of the United States and said, point A, point B. Okay, Sherry, get in the car. We're going to end up in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be on the road for, say, 6 days. So get your cell phone charged up, grab a credit card, and let's go. And just go tour the country. Get in the car and drive. But there's so many organized rallies. And I don't mean to promote any one, but I'll speak of them all very highly and equally. The Great American Race. That route changes every year. And that's open basically to anything. Don't quite understand their rules, but it's a timed event. So you got point A, point B, checkpoints throughout and across multiple states over like a 5-day period. And you know, there's so many other ones. And then, you know, they got the history of the Cannonball Run, the New York to LA. Let's go break the record and see what it can be done in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What is the New York to LA record now? Like 30 hours or something?
I'm not sure.
30 something.
Yeah, that was done during COVID when nobody was on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
People who tried doing it during COVID because the cops weren't pulling anybody over.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the best time, right?
that was the best time.
No, I know
Yeah.
Richard Rawlins won one year, didn't he?
And he has the 36-hour tattoo on his arm.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
when he
what
said, yeah, it was 36.
Yeah, there was a story. He tried to do it again, and he got about 2 states, and all of a sudden they heard on the police radio that they were busted. And if they didn't get the hell off the road right then and there, they were going to jail. That's the last time he did it. He's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good experience. If you have a chance to join one, man, it's pretty cool. Pretty safe too. You know, you'd think that these guys are just going wild, but they're driving $150,000, $200,000 cars, so they're kind of being a little safe. You know what I mean? Like I said, we went from from Detroit to Indianapolis, and we were humping pretty good, 110 all the way, 120, pretty much the whole way. We had a spotter car way ahead of us. You know, let us know if any police were ahead. Everybody had walkie-talkies. They put together a nice run.
Well, that I understand is like one of the requirements in the Radical Rod build off drive off for the drive off portion of the event. Every car had to have CBs, so that everybody could communicate. But like I said, there's so many organized and unorganized situations. You got cruising the coast. I believe that's going to be coming up, or maybe even happening right now, where it's multiple states along the Gulf Coast. I guess it starts somewhere in Texas or Louisiana and goes over to Florida. That would be a unique adventure. The Rat Rod Tour is coming up. That's multiple states over multiple days. I think of some others. There's others. So I know the Model A Club just did a tour of like the East Coast through the Appalachian Mountains. If this is something that somebody's interested in, you don't have to look far. There's plenty of events that you can go and attend, or just hit the open road on your own.
Yeah, just a bunch of friends getting together, go for a good ride.
I mean,
tearing up stuff. Hold on.
Was that, Jim, that was the record, 25 hours and 39 minutes?
According to this article, that's the fastest one, and it was done during it's November 2019, so it's actually before COVID.
That's funny. Well, I know you probably heard me say the story. I had a helper, and his name was Kurt, and he had a 73 or 72 Super Beetle or something, and he was an interesting character, and he was like all excited because he got his first paid vacation, and I was like, all right, Kurt, I said, this is when I was turning wrenches. And I said, all right, Kurt, I said, where are you going? He goes, I think I'm going to California. And I said, we only have a week. And I said, just remember, on Wednesday, wherever you are, you've got to turn around and come back. And he's like, I can make it to California, and I'm like thinking in a Super Beetle, I'm like, okay, bud. Yeah. So of course, Wednesday, we had phones at our toolbox. My phone rings and I pick it up and he's like, hey, Brian. I was like, hey, Kurt, what's up? He's like, man, I'm in New Mexico. And I'm like, well, you better start heading back. And he's like, I think I can still make it. And I was like, look, I said, you're not here Monday. I'm going to fire you. I'm just letting you know that you're supposed to be back here. So Monday morning, he comes walking in. Boy, I look like I stole his puppy from him. He walks in. I said, what's up, Kurt? He's like, man, I was so close. And I said, not really. So the funny part about that is, here we go, 25 hours and 39 minutes. If he, raced it out there, maybe he could have spent at least a day and a half in California and then come back, right?
That's funny.
So, yeah, he was an interesting character. So,
yeah, I have to have some of those guys come on next time they do a rally. I'd do some connecting, but good guys. A lot of them are really deep into the automotive industry too.
Really?
Yeah, like Simon. He owns Strut Grills. Remember those grills, Strut? Real high-end, fancy grills they put them on everything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's real big in the gold rush. There's a whole bunch of them. I can get a whole bunch of people.
What would actually be? I don't have a roadmap. What would actually be the true center of the country for everybody?
It's probably Youngstown,
80.
Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Youngstown. I-80. I-80 connects to everything. Yeah, but I-80 connects, everything connects to it from every state. It goes up to I-80 or down.
You got a very, very valid point with that. Where I was going with this was, if we started discussing today, possibly in 3 years' time, it could be a reality to pull together some kind of gathering road rally. People leave out of Florida, people leave out of Maine, people leave out of Washington State, people leave out of Southern California, and everyone meet in the middle of the United States.
That'd be cool. So let's look at the map. Where would that be? Iowa, maybe?
See, I was thinking something like Topeka, Kansas, kind of just a bit in the middle of my head. So, I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's got to be the center of the country.
Yeah, right. Let's see.
Well, in the day that we live in, you can just ask Google anything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Alexa, what's the middle of the United States?
Middle is located in Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Connecticut.
The hell is she talking about?
She's been smoking again.
Yeah.
Alexa, what's the center of United States?
From locograph.com. According to the National Geodetic Survey, the center of the United States is 22 miles north of Foose, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
South Dakota. That sounds like it's way far west.
Well, you know what? They're probably counting
They could be
Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah. And Alaska, yeah. All of
See,
that.
I was thinking it was too far north. If you count Hawaii, it's definitely too far north.
No, you got to say the
Kansas.
continental. I guess the continental United States.
The lower 48.
Yeah, right.
yeah, probably Kansas. Wait a minute, Kansas or Nebraska, somewhere around there.
See, yeah, visually in my head, it would be like Topeka, Kansas.
Yep.
What's in Topeka, Paul? What's in Topeka? Because you come up with that 3 times now. Is that like a fantasy? Is that a fantasy trip for you, or what?
Well, that's about the middle of the country.
I don't know. Got barbecue out there, or what? We're talking Kansas, right? So
I blew through it so fast I couldn't tell you what's there.
But I think he's right. Kansas City would probably be a good spot to
there must have been a waitress out there that you blew by.
Yeah. I know, Brian. Take it easy.
I know.
It's a little early.
It's a little early for the redhead talk.
Right.
This now, it could be a reality in 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta do it in the right weather. I mean, it's not hard to organize that. I mean, it's
You
just
You can't guarantee weather though.
yeah.
Mother Nature, you can't purchase because the weather coming out of the Northeast is going to be completely different than the weather coming out of the Southwest.
Right. So we got people would be coming from New Mexico, Texas, Florida. Where else?
The idea would have representation from all 48 states. And hey, if Canada wants to join in, let the Canadians join in too.
The Canucks.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
You gotta find a big old field someplace.
Well, again, tonight we were just talking about road rallies, and I threw out the idea it'd be cool to have some kind of a road rally and basically no restrictions. Drive your daily driver. Everyone get in the car, drive and meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I haven't heard anything like that where people coming from all over to meet at one place and then go back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be pretty
For
cool.
absolutely no other reason than to, grab a steak and cheese sandwich and an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go spend maybe 2 days and go back home.
Tell the wife you're going out for a pack of smokes, and that's a long time. Only problem is, I get back home, they might say, "Now take the trash out and don't come back."
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man,
That would be pretty cool, though. You know, what would be pretty cool is the caravan to Sema one year. Have everybody meet like in a central spot and then go to Sema. Even go to Kansas and go to Sema. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Louis,
I
don't know.
I could see that. We all meet.
Just from my motorcycle experience, caravanning and traveling in groups is not what it's cracked up to be. Because a lot of people have different agendas. Somebody wants People want to go fast. People want to go slow. Who wants to stop? That's why I ended up riding in bigger and bigger groups, and then I started going back down to like, group like 3 and 4 is like a perfect number. There's too much that goes on when you have too many people.
I agree 100%. And with that being said, I enjoy being as close to the tail end or on the tail end as possible. When you're on the tail end, okay, you'll get there after everybody else. But if anybody has any issues along the way, you're there to assist. If there's issues up ahead, we got communication to be able to warn people on the way back. There's lots of advantages, I feel, to being in the back of the pack.
Yeah, you definitely have to be organized with your communications and all. I agree with that 100%. And being in the back, there's no stress. There's no stress and strain. Being in the front, it's always, I've been a road captain, and it's like everybody's looking at you. Where we going, Cap? Oh shit! You better know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being up front.
I've been on enough organized motorcycle and automotive and combined motorcycle automotive rides to say when things gone south, it's usually in the front.
Yeah.
And it's a chain reaction in the front part of everything.
Sure.
It's usually the issue is in the beginning. It's in the front, it's in the lead. And part also why I enjoy being the one to hang back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, clean up and pick up the pieces.
Right. No doubt.
Well, I don't know. All I know is if I let my wife drive, we'll never stop to take a pee break because when she loads up, there is no stopping.
Right.
And if we do have to stop, she's on a strict time. You got 30 seconds to eat, pee, and get back in the truck, or we're leaving. So
there you go.
Where'd you get that from, Brian?
I don't know, but
me too.
It was funny because when we had the excursion, that had like a 46-gallon tank. So we would fill, you fill it up here, and she can get all the way to Jacksonville without stopping.
Yeah.
And of course, when she got into her, what does she have now? Explorer or whatever. Explorer. She called me the second time and said, "Man, I've had to fill up twice. It sucks."
Wow.
She's like, "Man, we don't mess around." She drove straight through from here to Florida. She don't stop. So
I do the same thing. I drove straight through from here to I made it to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then my son took over, but then he was crying after 4 hours. I'm like, bro, I just drove 20 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. She goes, when you drive, you're like looking off into the forest and looking at cars and want to pull off and look at this and stop. She goes, we don't have time for that crap. We got to get there.
All right.
So
yeah,
I'm not allowed to drive.
Like I'm going to go put my chickens away.
Put the chickens away.
All right, Paul, you have a good night.
Got to go put the chickens away.
They don't know where to go.
Well, yes, they know where to go, but I got to close them up and keep them safe from any predators.
Oh.
So, because they're sitting there to be someone's dinner right now.
Wow. Chicken fricassee.
My sister-in-law, she said she has 200 eggs.
Wow.
Yep. She has I think 35 chickens.
Lots of omelets.
Yeah.
Wow, 35.
Yeah, they lay every day.
Quiche said that. Quiche.
Yeah, that ain't easy with chickens because they eat their eggs. You gotta. Do
they?
Yeah, they eat their eggs. That's why they have those fake ones you slip in, and when you change, it's. I was watching something on the TV. I thought it was kind of crazy, but they'll eat if if they're not watched, they'll eat the eggs.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Man, I turned the air off because it got too cold. Now it's too hot.
Oh, you big
Weather is
baby.
muddy.
Yeah, it's crazy down here. It'll come in, it'll heat up, man, and the rain will come in, it'll drop 15 degrees. And you're like, man, this is nice. And then, like you said, no time at all. It's right back to
humidity,
the heat, the humidity and heat. I don't know.
So did I tell you guys about my paint experience on the bus with the white?
You were talking
Yeah,
about
but
bled through?
bled through. Then you were supposed to sand it down, did you?
Yeah, I sanded it down and primed it. So I'm gonna probably paint it this weekend.
Okay.
Try to run down the side. But I did some research on it. The paint that I have is translucent. So I think I'm gonna paint stripes wherever I want the stripes, and then paint over so it's like more of a ghost.
Let it be translucent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Just
think that's
one
what I'll
coat.
do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I can put white stripe and maybe a dark stripe, and then when I paint over it, it'll give different shadings.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hey,
when
Louis, did you see, just to change it up for a minute before I forget, did you see the press that Justin got?
No.
Okay, it's an online publication called thedrive.com, and they just did a big piece on that PT Cruiser that his shop built.
Mm-hmm.
I put it out in my social media today, so if you follow my stuff, you'll see it. And they mentioned him by name, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
So I thought that was really, really pretty neat.
What was that Drive? You said Drive Publications?
Thedrive.com.
Yeah, I remember. I saw your link on that.
Yeah.
Do they actually have a magazine, or is it just an online magazine?
I asked them that if they had print. He says no. He thinks it's just online, digital. You know, paper's cheaper when you go digital.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah,
that is true. They
Can't
want
believe how
everything
much money
digital.
I save on film since I went to digital camera. Yeah, it's a fraction of the price.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have a ton more pictures than you ever, because like you said, you just take and take and take, and
I actually go through mine and delete and delete and delete. I do, because I'm a big, I've been a photographer for years, so I always bracket my pictures and take 3 or 4 with different settings to try and get the perfect one. And then you make a contact sheet so you weren't printing them. But now with digital, it's easy. But yeah, I tend to delete them too, get rid of them.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I see the link. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that car, they were pretty impressed with it. It is a pretty impressive car.
Yeah, I seen some pictures of it a while back that he posted. Looks pretty neat.
Yeah, did a lot of work to that car.
What motor does it have in it?
The Hemi, late model Hemi, 352. So they took a car that had
392, right?
392. They took a car that had a 4-cylinder in it and put a 392 Hemi in the damn thing. So they literally had to rebuild the whole car.
And PT Cruisers are front-wheel drive, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
they were.
This one isn't anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did a good job.
You can do whatever you want when you cut the floor out.
That's a hell of a shop they got up there, man. It really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go up and check it out. Stop in there.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too.
Once I retire, I'm gonna do a lot of that. I'm gonna stop everywhere I know somebody has a shop or friends. I'm gonna stop in, plug into their house, and grab some water.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit everywhere, man. That's
Pedal 6, right?
for all the people I haven't met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the road.
That's good.
Swing by New York in the summertime. It's too cold in the winter.
Yeah, right. Well, last couple of years have been real nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. But
yeah, we've had no winters.
Yeah, we haven't really had a strong winter for probably 10 years, I bet.
Yeah.
Not from like when I grew up.
Oh no, totally different from them.
Yeah, I telling my kids, I was like, man, it used to snow and we didn't see the ground for 6 months.
Yeah, just show them the pictures. You know,
Yeah.
5-6 foot drifts. Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to shovel some snow.
You get a bike for Christmas, you didn't ride it until
Yeah,
So,
very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were lucky enough, you could ride through the house one time until you wipe something out and you're
Right.
and your old man gave you one across the backside.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's old school there, boy.
Yeah.
You got a brand new bike, can't ride it.
Yeah.
Or a skateboard.
Yeah.
Skateboard. Yeah, it's true. That is true.
So where's the rest of the fellas? Where's Isaac and
He usually pops in around now. He comes in a little later usually.
Oh yeah, they're 3 hours behind us though, so it's like
right.
Yeah.
And me and Brian are nodding off, getting ready to do the nod, and then Isaac's picking up speed and like, yo, dude, slow down.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
It's like,
let's see what Terry's been popping out a lot of videos and he's been working hard.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Do a lot of stuff. And he's not happy doing one project at a time either. You know,
No.
he likes doing a few things at once. I don't know. But I think I'd have trouble keeping track of it all. I don't know.
And there's a lot
you should be able to do that, Ray, because I mean when you worked on cars, you know, you do 4 or 5 things at a time.
Yeah.
You're taking one apart while you're waiting for parts for another one, and the parts come in, and you're doing this. You're looking at that. I look at that. That's a lot of my problem later on, because you have that mentality of, and then like you say, you never get anything done or you never finish anything.
It all comes
now.
down.
I don't have a deadline.
No, it all comes down to space. You have to have the space to have those jobs, you know, segregated, or else stuff starts getting mixed up. You know, tools are over here when they should be over there, and yeah, that gets to be a problem.
Yeah,
but
I'll tell you something about space. You'll fill it up.
Oh yeah,
fast.
Doesn't matter how much you got, you'll end up filling it up.
It's a universal constant.
Yep.
Very true. Very true.
Here's a picture I sent to Arco after I got the sides redone.
Oh wow.
A lot of work, man. I'll tell you, it's little tedious stuff what slows you down.
Yeah.
You know, I started painting around these mirrors. I think I gotta take them off the hood. But I can't reach the one bolt close to the grill.
Right.
So I think I gotta take the whole grill off, or take the whole hood off to get to it.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know what's more work, painting around this stuff, because I hit it with my gun, and you know it's like hard to get spots. Then you get stuck, and you still shooting, and then now you got to run.
Yeah.
So should I take the? I don't know. I gotta weigh my options.
Yeah.
Terry said he'd be on in about 5 minutes. Yeah, so this weekend is supposed to be pretty nice. So I'm gonna try to shoot much as I can. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm like myself. I'm just gonna paint until I get tired and go in the house.
Mm.
How much more you gotta do?
The whole bus.
The whole bus.
So you just painted the front clip on it?
Yeah, well, what I did is I painted the front, the front part of the top of the hood going down the grill and down onto the bumper, and then I painted up over the windshield, so it's like one big stripe coming down. So I painted that in, and so now I got to tape everything off and then paint the orange. But now I'm thinking I'm gonna do some stripes before I paint. I'm gonna do a couple different colors in there.
That's a good idea. You know, and that's how you find those happy accidents. You find it by accident.
Yeah, because when I was looking, because Arco made a joke, he goes, "Oh, just tell him it's a custom hood," because you know the white was showing under.
Right.
And when I was looking at it, I'm like, well, if I would have did it, you know, taped it off, that wouldn't have looked bad.
Right.
It just looked like a different shade of the orange.
Yeah.
So then I was reading the product data sheet, and they were saying that it's translucent, so any color you put under it, like the primer, if you want it to be brighter, put a white primer. If you want it to be a little darker,
yeah.
And so the color that they use on the swatch is white on white base,
right?
Because it's real bright, like a bright sun-kissed orange,
right?
And so when I painted my one fender, I'm like, man, this is darker than the swatch, but I like it. It became more of a color like your car, Ray.
It's funny you say that, because I was just at a cruise night last week, and I was talking to a guy with a Firebird, and his car, it caught my eye because the color was kind of like it, but more of a reddish bronze.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to ask him about it, and he says, yeah, you know, he didn't know the exact color, but he shot his over like a red primer.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, mine was done definitely over a whitish gray primer, and it definitely changes the color. It definitely. The thing with those translucent paints is, though, you got to do like 7 or 8 coats before you get full coverage.
Oh yeah.
The single stages are nice because it's like 1-2 coats, boom, you're done. That's it. You know?
Well, the white that I put on, man, I almost could have got away with one coat.
Yeah.
I mean, it laid down nice, but it's solid.
Yeah.
The translucent is a little, see-through, so I got to hit it a couple times. But I think I can get away with about three coats.
You'll see how it builds.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to look in the different light, too, and that's how you can see splotchiness and whatnot. I mean, in the shop, sometimes they'll actually use the light meter. They'll take light readings around the car to see if they have if they need another coat of paint. Yeah.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The alarm went off.
I heard it.
That's no good.
Well, yeah. Unlawful pizza delivery.
No, I don't know. The dogs were all wound up. So it was something. I don't know if they saw something or heard something or what, but
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. It's one thing nice having the dogs.
Yeah.
They hear something and they go crazy. So
yeah.
So I think I might go with a camo interior on the bus.
Oh, nice. That's nice on almost anything.
Yeah. See, let me show you.
No mushroom?
I can't afford the mushroom.
Right.
So
you can start growing it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I made a purse out of this.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So I think I'm liking it. So I think I might go with this color.
All right.
That's good.
I'm gonna do a lot of fiberglass work on the dash and stuff. I'm gonna make it like a car with the cup holders. I'm gonna put an iPad in the center console. Have it wrap around the drivers. And then now that I have a captain's chair, I'm gonna have hers wrap around too, and I might put a glove box in, stuff like that. And armrest, so she'd be comfortable over there.
Yeah.
So what are you going to build the dash out of, though?
I might do fiberglass. Build a wood base and then wrap it with material and then fiberglass. I might. Or I might just do wood and then cover it with leather. I don't know. I'm play around with a couple different ways. Depends on my money too. That goes that makes a lot of the decision.
Yeah.
Oh, you Lewis, don't worry about it. Man, if your talent, charms, and good looks, you got it, baby.
I tried to get some free stuff at the store, man. And I was like, hey, you see my good looks? And he's like, man, get out of here.
Yeah.
Called the police on me, so I couldn't get no free stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all depends on what my bank account looks like when I start that part. That'd be the last thing I work on, though.
Yeah.
Here goes the man, the myth.
And the legend.
There he is.
There he is.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Guy who can never work on too many things at once.
It's got to be more than two.
What is with you? We were just talking about that. What's going on? Would you grow like another brain or something that you got that capacity? That's a lot of stuff, man.
I got yeah. It's Lewis's fault. He's my mouthpiece.
Hey, he got a couple more things about to pop open too. I can't tell you right now, but
Getting into trouble.
yeah, he's getting himself into a mix.
You think we should tell the boys? We could tell the boys here.
All right, go ahead. You the man.
We're in a safe space here. Well, okay. I'm gonna let Lewis tell it because he's the one who started it.
Wait, which one? Because we got a couple things popping.
Let's go with the CUDA.
CUDA. Okay, so Terry's going to end up coming here to Youngstown multiple times in the next couple months because we are going to pound it out and really get it done like before May.
Wow.
So I got my duct tape ready. I got my hammer and my screwdriver, and I'm ready.
I had to send an extra bag of zip ties.
Yeah, zip ties. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to go down.
We're just gonna knock it out. We're gonna knock it out and just do it. Just do it. I always wanted the CUDA. I always wanted another CUDA because I had a 71. Always wanted another one. And I'm gonna make the one that I always wanted. I like the AAR CUDA.
Yeah.
Ooh. So why is it by May?
Because the powers that be said they want it done by May.
Oh, this is
the powers that be said they want it by May. So, they'd like to have the car ready so we can, cruise around with it by May. So,
all right.
So
now Terry don't know this, but it's going to be his wife's car. Like, she's picking colors and curtains and everything for it.
Yeah,
he don't know it yet. Don't tell him.
So much for wanting that second CUDA.
Yeah. She we were just talking about it. She goes, "No, do it the way you want to do it. I'll drive it no matter what." I was like,
famous
like
last
a
words.
soft clutch in there.
Yeah.
She's
Put
like,
the
no.
push button start under the seat.
I know, right?
You said 70, right?
1970. That's the one I want.
Yeah. That's...
Oh, he's got one.
There you go. AR CUDA. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Plum crazy?
No, that looks like Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Or be
Plum crazy was that purple. That was nice.
Yeah, it was purple. This is more
I always forget, they use the same color in Dodge and Plymouth, but they called it something different.
Yeah.
And one of them was Moulin Rouge, the other was Panther Pink.
Panther
pink. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moulin Rouge.
Right.
Yeah.
Terry, what color are you thinking about on that?
Well, I was going to do something. I want to do something pretty special. I want to paint it the Summit blue because Summit's colors are red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like white cars, and I'm not particularly fond of red. So I figured, let me just paint the Summit blue. And Ed Beards, he says that he wants to do the logo in the back. You know how it says AER CUDA?
Mm-hmm.
So he says he wants to do it because if you look at that logo, it almost looks like a route sign. He goes, put your name in there, Route 66, Coverman 66 in there. CUDA,
Yeah.
So
you could do that with the red and the white in there. That's
what he's saying. Yep. So we're talking about ideas, and I told him have at it because I want it to be a solid colored car. I like the spoilers, the little two spoilers in the front and the duck butt. The only thing I really didn't like about the AAR CUDA was the whole top of the car is black.
Yeah.
I want it all solid. Maybe just a black hood. I don't know, depending on what color we really decide to go on. And I never liked the stripes that went all the way, like broken stripes going up to the CUDA.
That's called a strobe stripe.
Never was a fan of that.
Yeah.
Unless it was a Roadrunner, 70 Roadrunner, 70, 71, 72 Roadrunner.
You know,
like Terry, where it went across the roof.
You know, on the roof, instead of just doing solid black, you can do a ghost black with something in it. You know what I mean? Like how they do the lowriders. You might see.
I would be open to that. I would be open to that.
Yeah, there's something to trick it. You know what I mean? Trick it out a little bit.
And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and I'm just glad to be a part of this one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as it's a CUDA.
Yeah,
it's a CUDA. Yeah,
yeah. If you have an opportunity to add multiple classics in your stable, man, that's the way to go.
You gotta, And we were, and Lewis was in the studio with me. When they talked me, they didn't really have to talk me too hard to go with the power plant that I wanted to go with, because the plan was to go with a LS7, and if you bore it over, you're gonna have 440. It goes out to a 440.
Okay.
So I was gonna go that route, and be like, hey, look, it's a 440. Yeah, it's But they said, yo, would you be one to put a 6.4 in there? I was like, that's a 392. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's roll.
Yeah, they didn't have to talk me into it real hard.
Yeah.
Because and I'm glad I did, because Casey over at QA1, she was like, those Mopar people, they are diehard nutty. They are diehard nutty fans. So are you sure you want that smoke? I was like, bring it.
Yeah.
But I decided not to.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Then we're gonna do the Godzilla in a Mustang. We're gonna get us.
Yeah, exactly.
The Godzilla. Brian, have you researched those motors?
I've looked. I mean, I've read some about them. I haven't gone a lot into it.
Man, I'll tell you, they're building one out at PRI, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And the numbers look good on it too. The specs.
Yeah. I mean, even though being a Ford guy, the cost on that stuff is just
crazy.
And unfortunately, I didn't hit the Mega Millions the other night. So
yeah,
that's
I forgot to play.
Yeah, one poor person in Florida hit it.
Wow.
750 million after, I think after taxes, is it?
No. That's cash. That's cash payout.
Oh, is it?
That's cash payout. Then you got to pay the taxes on that. So.
So he hit. He's gonna be poor or broke again.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. A poor person.
One of my buddies at work hit for $1 million, and after he took the lump sum, and he got 370 or 390. They took more than half in taxes.
Yeah.
That's a crime. You know what I mean? And then he's like 71 years old, so he didn't take the payments, because if you die, the payments go back, or all the money goes back to the state.
That's right. The state giveth and the state taketh away.
Yeah, you can't pass it on to your family.
Nope.
Lump sum you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, when you're paying 65% of it out,
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And then they all want you to donate something to somebody in the meantime. So you're like, man, you're lucky you come out with that peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame.
700 some mil, man. The first 10 mil I'd blow. I'm telling you, I'd be crazy, dude.
No, the first time you can try. 10 million is a lot of money to just blow.
Oh, I can do
worry.
It. Once you get past that, once you get to the $2-3 million home and furnishing it, like you're still gonna be left with like maybe another 5 mil. You're gonna be like, oh man.
No. cars, boats, trucks.
That $2 million home, you got to keep it up though.
And that's the thing, yeah.
There is a something somewhere. It's more than half of people who hit the lottery for big money end up broke in 5 years.
Yeah.
Because they don't know
because they're doing a Lewis Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, I ain't gonna go broke now. Listen, let me tell you the plan.
Girls and wasting the rest.
See, I wouldn't buy a big old mansion and stuff. I'd buy a whole bunch of property in a large garage, right?
There you go.
All my money would be tied up in toys.
Yeah.
Stuff I can play with. You know what I mean? A house you can't play with. You just go there and go to sleep and wash the dishes.
Yeah, we'll ask your wife about that.
Listen,
Yeah.
I wear the pants around here.
Okay, tough. We're still alive. Okay, tough guy.
She's asleep. She's asleep already.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a replay of this. Don't worry.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Shoot. 10 mil will be blown.
Did Ward Williams, has the 402 coming? Is that for me, I guess?
I guess so, yeah.
Who's got a 402? Ain't me.
I got a 402, but it's a Chevy motor.
That's LS. It's a Chevy motor.
Not the one I got.
402 is a 396 put over.
I think he's asking how's it coming.
How's it coming? Yeah. It's home. I'm waiting for guy Promar Performance, Promar Precision Engine. He says bring it on over, and he's gonna dingle ball it, and we're gonna put it together. And it's going into the Le Mans. That one's gonna go into the Le Mans with an LSA blower. So the Le Mans is actually going to the body shop, and I'm gonna take a couple of days off from work so I can do the quarter panels and bring it back. And then we're gonna, I got to do the stuff that because quarter panels you need a lot of room. So my buddy who owns what's the name of the shop? Is it? It's not 612. It's the owner of 612, but he has another shop where they do all of the in and out, not the custom work. 612, they do the custom works where they build those Cudas and those the Chargers out of a new Challenger. So the other shop is where they actually do a lot of in and out stuff. And so he says, you got a spot here, bring the Le Mans down. We can knock the quarter panels out in a couple of days and get it out of here. So I'm like, let's do it. So you're gonna start seeing more videos on that Le Mans. So that 402 is going in that Le Mans. The 408 is going into the 67 Chevelle, and I have another LS, which is going to go into a pickup truck once I get one.
Let me ask you: do you keep like ledgers or books on these cars so you can tell, like, if you ever had to go back, to remember what was in what car? You keep good records for all that stuff.
Yeah, and I keep them in the car when I'm working on them.
That's good.
Like a little loose leaf book and the dates and everything like that. And even when I have even with the parts, Lewis leased all the parts that I got in the living room, in the house, in the garage shop, and I mark the boxes. This is for the 67, this is for the 79, this is whatever, such and such. So I mark all the boxes so I don't get them confused.
Good deal.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't take time to do, and they get bit later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I even tag them. I even bag them and tag them.
Right.
Ziplocs are your best friend.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with the 402. Hopefully, I like to try to get that ready by LS Fest, but see what happens, because I got a T56 transmission that I'm going to mate up to the back of that. I should get it rebuilt, but I figured might as well blow it and see, who knows, that transmission could last for another 6 years. Who knows? Because it was out of a working 2002 Camaro SS. So the way I figure, as long as I don't put slicks on the car, try to hook up, I'm not going to break it.
Right.
In this case, spinning is winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
No, that's where people mess up. They build these cars and they forget to either tighten up the rear or either tighten up the transmission. And that's, what, I'm going to English channel. I'm gonna throw some slicks on to see what I can really get.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's what you got.
That's it.
Yep.
So I'd rather spin. Besides, spinning looks cool.
Yeah, well, it was funny because when I had the rear end rebuilt for my Pontiac, it's been in the car for 100 years, and the rebuilder said, man, he goes, this is one of the cleanest 12 bolts I've ever seen. He goes, the axle tubes are straight. The axles are good. He goes, I could tell you never really hooked up in this car.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, man, you just burn the tires. He goes, you know what? You save yourself a lot of money on the rebuild because I don't have to fix all of that broken stuff. Mike, yeah, there you go.
No.
Street car. Gotta love it.
Nah, I mean, every now and then I'll hit the autocross, but for the most part, do a couple of hole shots and that's it. Once I get that on my system. Okay, the car's pretty quick. We just leave it alone. Yeah.
So when's the next time you coming to do yo?
I'm actually trying to set it up for. I know Tyler's going to be gone. I think the 19th, the 18th, and the 19th. I think he said somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the following week.
Okay.
Maybe the following week. We gotta get Tyler back on that grill.
Yeah. Tyler
That
loves
boy
to
can
cook,
cook.
man. Yeah, he can cook.
That boy can cook.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some nice steaks.
He's got some pretty cool bike and car washing girls hanging around these days too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were doing a photo shoot for a competition, for a magazine competition.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so that's what that was about.
So they say.
So they say. Right.
All right, guys, time for me to bail.
All right, Jim, have a good week, man.
All right, Jim, take care.
Take care.
Stay cool.
Stay safe.
I'm trying to find something real quick. Let's see. Where is it? Hold on, Louis Lee. I got you. Nope, hold on a sec. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
So, we're eating pretty good.
Yeah, we got New York strip on the smoker, smoked cream cheese, smoked corn on the cob, a little bit of extra smoke, you know.
Jeez.
And then we got the Mexican chipotle corn salad.
Nice.
Little amount of
Smoked cream cheese. You like it?
Give me a call in a little bit because we're about to get busy, all right? We're smashing, bro. Yeah, all right. All right. No. We out, man. We'll talk to you later, bro.
Man, we were eating good out there.
Yeah, man.
You know,
It
corn
seems
was eating right. You know, I tell you, Ray, he would have done you proud, man. You would have been out there eating too.
I sure would have been. Absolutely.
Hey, we even had the Oreos on the trip.
Yes.
There you go.
Do you
But his
realize?
shop, Sky Tie shop is really nice, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I really enjoyed that shop.
a lot of room,
Yes.
of room, and he has it wired up pretty good with the air. Like the air goes through the whole shop. 220, for the welders. He got it set up pretty nice. Nice shelving. You know what I mean? He put it together nice. You should have seen it before he redid it. It was like a cave. Like the floor was all uneven. They had walls up in places. Like it was a mess, man. And you went in there, him and his dad. They did some work to that place.
Yeah.
I
mean, the floors are all covered with that. What is that stuff? That like not rhino line and
epoxy paint stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything rolled. It's all even and smooth. You can roll anything across.
Nice.
Yep. Go Jacks. You put a car on Go Jacks, you can push it out to the street.
And I didn't realize how much of a Pontiac lover this boy is.
Really?
This boy in the back up must have been, how many cars did we count? Like 30 something cars?
30. I think it was 36 plus the bus.
Well, yeah, he does a lot of you remember, I guess they're like in the mid 90s, the
Grand Prix.
The Grand Prix, the GTPs.
Yeah.
That's his car. He's got a lot of them out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, we need to make like an all-wheel drive or either a rear-wheel drive one of these, man. You got like some to spare, He's got some rare colors back there. Tyler's no joke.
He's been collecting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got some stuff.
I was like, and I was saying to myself, I never ever see one of these cars on the road.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Like I said, I've said it to him. I've been in once I was around him enough here on this show. I'm in awe of what that guy knows for a guy his age.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it all the time. I say, man, that guy is on the mark. He is like, I'll be on a project. I'll be doing something. And I say to myself, like, I bet you Tyler would know the answer to this. It's like, I bet you he would know because he just seems to have such a wide base of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Smart guy.
You have his phone number. You should text him when you have those questions because
he'd
would love to hear it. He would love to answer that question.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'd definitely love to answer some of those questions.
So I was talking to him a little bit about maybe doing a studio in one of his bays. And I'm going to talk to a couple companies to see if it would be worth doing something in this location, in this area, that other companies can use it as a studio. Because I went to a studio with a client in Cleveland, or actually it was Avon Lake, is like the suburbs. But this guy had a garage on the lake, and it was probably a 4-car garage, but he had it set up like a studio, like a garage studio, and it was really nice. And he rents it out to companies. They'll come and do their promotions in his studio, and he does all the filming and the photos and stuff.
That's cool.
So I would love to do something like that. So me and Tyler was talking about it a little bit. So I got to put some feelers out to see if it might be a market for it in this area. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you're in the center of the world, so.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of places around here, but who, depends on if they want to spend money to do it.
Right.
Yeah. So Coverman's going to be all up in Ohio. Yeah, you're going to see me there a lot.
Yeah.
How's your job take that, Terry?
The what?
How's the job deal with all of that?
Oh, me going to Ohio?
No, just you taking the time off all the time. Because you're all over the place.
No, not really. What it is, first of all, I get I get time off. I get I don't know how many weeks a year I get, 5 weeks a year or something like that.
Okay.
And I never use it. You know what it is? I always have to carry days over.
Yeah.
And so I would take one day, go out there on maybe at least Thursday night, take Friday off, come back Sunday. I would do something like that.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's how I'm going to play that out, because like I said, most of the time when I do I take time off, it's either for SEMA or either PRI or something like that. And so they usually have to force me to take time off.
Yeah.
My son's in that situation right now. He works for Key Bank, and they sent him a letter telling him he got to use it. So he had to put
use it or lose it.
Yeah.
We're only able to carry over a week. So you get 5 weeks. You got to use 4 weeks, because anything after that you start losing.
See, that's where the job I had was pretty cool in one way, because I worked with a guy, and every time he got a day, he would take it. And I would say, "What do you do, man? Save those days." When I cashed out, they had to cash me out for it was 150 days.
Wow.
It was, I had trouble figuring out where to put the money, because they were going to tax it too. So I was using these as many tax-free shelters as I could. Yeah, max that. I mean, it came down to the point where I had to take some of the cash, and they hit me for 41%. It was shit. I said, that's 41% I could have taken off, and actually enjoyed myself, and I didn't. So
yeah, so you got to weigh it out. That's what I'm doing now. I'm looking at my calendar, because I'm going to try to leave September next year. So I'm looking at it real strong on how I'm going to get my sick time and vacation time.
Right. Yeah, really give it some thought.
My dad had tons of time. It was so funny, because when he retired, and I remember going over there, and he was putting a suit and tie on. I said, "Dad, where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going into work." And I'm like, "Dad, you retired 6 months ago?" It's what's going on? And he's like, "No, today's my official day, because I've been off this whole time. I had to use it, or like I said,
sick time or something like that.
He had to use it, because, like you said, when getting cashed out, playing with the money game thing." But I just thought it was funny. I was like, man, because it was the same thing, because it just built up so much time.
Yeah.
And So then he went in and picked up his stuff and came home, and I'm like, you could have just told him to mail it to you.
Yeah, mail it to you.
Or it's been sitting there that long, you might as well just go ahead and throw it in a dumpster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna play the game though. They're gonna be wondering about me.
Yeah. Yeah, do it right. Do it for the way it suits you. You really should.
I mean, you earned it, you know.
Like I said, if I would have had the wherewithal to think about it a couple of years ago, I probably would have done it different, but I didn't. So you know what? At the end of the day, I got what I got. I'm not mad about it. I would have spent a little less in taxes, but big deal.
So Ray, are you guys still house hunting?
Yeah, not as active as we were because the market kind of got weird. I got a real estate lady who looks for me all the time, and she sends me stuff all the time. And I just talked to my buddy today from the shop who wants to buy my house, and he says, "Yeah, we'll put a deal together." He wants to take this, so really what I do is I'll have to sell the house. I have the money in my hand, but then I got to decide where am I going to go. You got to have the money. You got to be able to move strike at a moment's notice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
I got a plan for you.
What do you got?
Build yourself a bus, right?
Right.
As soon as you sell the house, bam, you got it. You're on the road. You go park anywhere. Park at truck stop, Walmart.
My buddy at work had a better idea. Says sell a house to him and then rent it from him because he doesn't need to live here yet. Rent it from, then you can get all your crap out and all, and that'll give you some leeway time. I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
That's probably the best bet right there.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually, like you said, the biggest problem is when you find something, you got to have everything ready to go then, because you can't say wait, because by that time somebody else has come in.
Yeah, you got to have money cash in hand.
You got to have, like you said, and if you can have that set up, like you said, where you're renting back to the guy, and if
that's a good idea.
If it's decent, I mean, as long as you're not, you don't want to drag it out so long, but at least you get your stuff all together. Right. Then when you jump, but then, like you said, cleaning out or getting stuff moved is another whole.
Yeah. So I was watching a video. A couple, the husband builds buses for people, but what they did is they started looking for land with a large garage because he was renting the garage to do the builds. So they ended up finding a really nice, 4 acres at a decent price. The house was a trailer, like an old trailer, but it had all the water hookups and everything. Nice. So he got rid of he's going to get rid of the trailer and just use the garage and plug his bus up and still live in the bus and work out of the garage. And he has 3 or 4 acres.
Nice. That's cool. Yep. Let's think outside the box.
Yeah. And with that kind of acreage, you can build, later on or, whatever.
Sure. The land isn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Then I've seen another couple. This guy, he converts, him and his wife, they convert old RVs. They buy old RVs and convert them. Oh, okay. So what they did is they both quit their job, bought land in Texas, moved down there on the land with their RV, and then built a big garage with an apartment on the side of it, like a big barn.
Yeah.
Big enough to pull a bus in the middle and all his tools and stuff on the one side, then the house on the other side, all in one structure. So that's what they did.
I like to get one of those GMC mono homes or whatever they call those GMC campers.
The old one.
The old one.
Like 67, something like that. 76,
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Those things are real cool now.
The one that what's his name was restoring, Ken Diggett.
Right.
I think it was Ken Diggett restored one of the. I think it was him, right?
It was him too. Yeah.
He was restoring one of those. I can't remember. There wasn't that many of those things built, 12 of them or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I got to take him out. Gentlemen, I got to take this dog out so he can pee, but.
All right.
All right.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you.
Yep. We'll talk up. All right. Take care, gentlemen.
See you, man.
Be safe.
Good night.
Have fun. Drive a 55.
Drive 55?
Drive a 55.
Wow.
All right, here we go. We got a question.
Do all RVs come with gear vendors? Oh,
no.
Didn't think so.
Most of them don't. Gear Vendors is an aftermarket company, and I've never seen one with it, to be honest.
Okay.
But
to have it because, you know, to have an OD on a truck's got to help.
Mm-hmm. I had one on one of my trucks for hauling cars. It's no joke. Flip the switch, boom.
Right.
Extra gears. I might put one on my bus, to be honest.
It always comes up when guys are talking about transmissions and what to do, and you know they want to go D. And gear vendors always comes up into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't personally know anybody who's used one, but
yeah, they work.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I think that's the cheapest way to go about it.
Yeah,
it's cheaper than transmission. It's cheaper than the gears doing a rear end.
I mean, well, yeah, when you do the gears and rear end, you're stuck because they're fixed. I mean, I did the transmission route. That's how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it is less, but now you are hanging something off the back of the transmission. So it's another piece of hardware under there.
But
I know they're very
bulletproof. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work. I know for a fact.
Right.
Get the RPMs down.
Sure. Yeah.
I really think I'm gonna do one on the bus.
Yeah. It's a perfect application.
Unless I can find, though, they got a transmission that has a 6-speed. Mine's a 4, but the 6-speed that would do the trick if I could find one at a decent price. But,
right.
You know.
Even so, sometimes you know you bite the bullet, you bite that canker sore, you get it over with, and then as soon as you do it, you realize like, yeah, this was the right thing to do. It was money well spent.
Yep.
You know, instead of dicking around with other things. You know?
Yeah.
I think going that route though, you kind of have everything that you want. I mean, you know, you still have the gearing if you're pulling or need the gearing for that point, and then you also have the gearing for, like you said, when you're up on the highway or open road for mileage wise.
Yeah, it's a get you in trouble gears. That's the problem. Because, you just
got to remember when you're moving all that weight, you got to stop that thing.
Well, you know, I put a 5-speed in my car, and really, I mean, I drive it like a 4-speed because I can't think about fifth till I'm doing 70. But cruising around, like, first is low, second and third are really nice around town gears. I mean, I could cruise in third up at like 60 miles an hour, and I'm only doing like not even $4,000. Like an instant acceleration with the torque of the motor. You know, and then fourth, you're cruising, and like I said, by 10 more miles an hour, it's time for fifth, and now RPM drops like 1,700, and let's boogie boys. Now you're looking at going, you know, doing $110.
Yeah.
You know? But like I said, now you're into the get in trouble range. So
where you run out of road.
So it's fun just driving it as a 4-speed. It really is.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, not much, guys.
All right.
Rough end of practice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, parent issues.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Oh.
Bring the Uzi next time. Parent issues.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about what's
parents.
Oh, it's
Tell them to stay home. They're not playing. It's the kids. Stay the hell home.
Yeah.
Go to Mahjong.
I'll tell you what, man. Parents, they're on a different boat now, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You like my wife is a teacher, and stuff that she would tell me that the parents would say was just crazy. First thing, oh, it wasn't my kid.
Really? Yeah.
Or why'd you do this to my kid? No, your kid did it to himself. And I see why.
What grade does your wife teach, Louis?
Well, she's retired now for but she was she did preschool, she did second grade, I think fifth grade. I think she bounced around. She did a couple different.
All right.
But now some of those kids are getting married, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm old."
Yeah.
Kids that she had in preschool.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you get parents that like Louis said. Like Louis said, they're saying it's not my kid. Not my kid at all.
Yep.
Tell them, you know what? Well, when you can prove to me that it was somebody else's kid, come back and we'll talk about it. See, I'd be that guy. They'd bounce me out in a week.
Me too.
You know, I would get my facade on so fast because I have no filter for stupid. I really don't, especially now as I'm getting older. It's like, don't snow me, don't bullshit me. Tell me the truth and we'll have a conversation. You know? If someone did something wrong, we'll work it out. We'll talk about it. But don't fucking think I'm an idiot and I'm gonna fall for this shit. Isaac has a video to prove it. He knows. Like,
that's right.
No, this ain't flying. You know, take it somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And the hard part is trying to not sell myself out of there.
Yeah,
I mean,
because that'll hurt the kids.
There's more to the story. I'll tell you guys off air, but
well, the worst part is really in education.
Yeah, I know, and that's the hard part too.
The worst part is who's above you in the system where you work, because if the administration has a policy or a a plan that they follow and you're not following it, now you're in trouble with the parents and you're in trouble with the people above you. Now you're in Brian's world. Everybody fucking hates you. You know? So that's the worst case. And education these days sucks because of that.
Yeah.
So
yep. So we got another question on the gears. Yes, you can have tall gears.
Absolutely. I was thinking about changing my rear end gears again. I got 373s in there. I'm thinking, man, 411s would be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Especially when you have that overdrive system, like you said, you want to. I know there's a formula or there's a plan on, like I said, if you like in an RV or a truck or whatever, you might want to have, especially it depends on the size of your tires, but you might want to have 513s in it.
Right.
It depends on how many gears you got, and so that when you need to pull the stump out, you got it.
Oh yeah.
Or you got to move it, you have it. And then, like I said, the add-on with the gear reduction thing or overdrives, you can bring it down. You just got to find that what you want as a cruising speed.
Yep.
Type thing.
I know I talked about this early on when I was first flushing out my car. I'd get it on the highway, pop it in fifth, doing 70, 75. I noticed I saw my water temperature going up. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So I did a test. I did a ride of a certain distance. I did it in fourth gear at like 60 miles an hour. Then I did it in fifth gear. And in fourth gear, the water temperature was lower. In fifth gear, it was higher. And I realized why. The engine isn't spinning fast enough. In fifth gear, I was not spinning the engine fast enough to circulate that water.
Oh.
And I went and got myself there is a pulley. I could have changed the pulley, but they're very hard to find a factory pulley of that size. So I ended up going with what's called a flow cooler water pump. It's got a billet impeller, and they claim their pump moves more water at idle than a stock pump does at like 2,500 RPM. And that helped. That helped out a lot. So again, you got to tweak the system, and you got to, you build a car or a bus, whatever it is, a truck. Unless you build it stock the way it was, You're going to be redoing things and re-engineering things because shit's going to crop up that you didn't expect, like that.
Well, that's like the tool truck. Because my route is so close, it idles all day, but I'm not driving. So I was having problems with the batteries charging.
Yeah.
Because you're just idling and you got everything running and so forth. So they said, oh, well, here, you change the pulley on your alternator so it spins faster.
Smaller pulley, yeah.
But the problem was if I forgot to turn off the switch, it actually has like a main switch. If I forgot to turn it off, it would, because when I would drive home, that's the longest I would be driving at 60 miles an hour. I was overcharging the batteries, or it was just, the alternator was winding up. So eventually what I did was I just took, I have a PTO where I would, power up and I would bump up the idle a little bit, and that solved a lot of the problem.
But then you use more fuel.
But you're right. I mean, there's on both ends, there's a plus, a minus,
right,
and something we can live with.
Now,
right.
can you add a DC to DC charger?
I have one, yeah.
And that don't regulate that?
Well, when that's on when you're on shore power.
Okay.
When you plug it in it in at night, if I want to, so it charges up the batteries.
Okay, so the way I'm seeing it on the solar system that I'm going to put in the bus, that I can do a DC to DC charger and connect that to my alternator of the bus. And so that will regulate how much juice goes to my house batteries. So that's not the shore power, that's coming from my alternator.
Well, yeah, there's I can't remember what they call it. I can't remember what they call it, but the problem of it is if that component goes bad, then you're getting a full charge all the time. It's not like it's like a regulator of I can't remember what they call it. Damn it, it'll come to me in a minute.
Well, I think from that DC to DC goes into a charge, or no, what's it called? Solar charge controller. Yeah. So I don't know if it goes through that first and then to the batteries. I'm not sure. I'm still.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem that I've had, or the thing that I've come across, was, the solar panels. I know they've come a long way, but the way that truck flexes and bounces around, that they have
flexible.
They have them. They've gotten more flexible. And they've been the first ones, didn't put enough ampere. You would have to have so much to charge, and I know they're getting better and better in that way. But like I said, they still say that to have it up and running, to have it running while you're driving down the road is a task and a half, because those things flex so much.
Mm-hmm.
That truck flexes.
They actually have ones that are like paper, like you can do this with them.
Right. Well, like I said, they've come a long way on that. And I haven't looked into it since the last time. I would love to have solar. I would, if I could get away with it and not end up borrowing a competitor's jump starter to get the truck started, I'd be okay.
Right. Well, from what I'm hearing, I see a couple guys use them on the smaller buses because they don't have that much room for big panels. Mm-hmm. So they use those flexible ones. And the only thing is they say they don't last as long as the house ones.
Yeah.
So, you got to weigh your options.
If you go solar, Brian, and you move out here, you won't have any problem with charging because we have plenty of sunlight. And then if you move out here, I can help you with that Mustang, help you get it up and running and get an LS.
There you go. See that, bro?
Yeah, I see that.
Look it up.
I'll tell you something. I just saw a video. I watched a video about solar. It was actually about something else, but there was a solar component. And what the guy was explaining was that with the majority of the solar cells that are out there, if you look at the incident angle of the sunlight hitting the panel, it's got to hit it dead perpendicular to generate the maximum voltage. Any angular skew decreases the voltage.
Yeah. Yep.
So that means like you're always going to be something other than optimum, except for maybe one portion of the day if you're lucky.
Well, if you put a system, a rack on there that moves. So some guys are using motorized racks. And
that's one way of doing it. But
yeah.
the other thing, get a load of this. The other thing I thought of was, you look at a solar cell and it's just flat. It's a grid. What if the solar cell was shaped like a bug's eye with many facets to it? Now it could pick up light from many different angles.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be the next, if I just invented the next thing in solar system, but Tyler will beat me to it. He'll get the patent.
Yeah. See, I think Tyler's he's trying to go for the world record solar panels on a bus. And I forget how many panels he wants to put on, but he wants to put like 2 or 3 different racks that slide out and move.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how he does it.
Yeah.
Now, out in Arizona is where there's a company out there by Isaac that they sell used panels. So let me explain. Like, have you ever seen like a solar farm?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what happens is when they have all those panels out there, they can have one panel that drops a little bit and it throws off all the other panels. So they pull it out of service.
Right.
And it happens so often, but the panels are still really good. Like you still get 95% of the power, but they got to pull them off that rack because it messes up the whole system.
Yeah, the balance, the unbalance.
Right. So they sell them at this company by Isaac, and they're really cheap, like $50-$100. But to have them shipped, you got to buy a whole pallet.
Oh wow! Yeah,
you're looking at $400, $500, $600 for a pallet.
Right.
I can't afford that for shipping. You know what I mean? That could be some more solar panels or some more batteries, or you know what I mean?
Well, unless you can go in with somebody and split it, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Tyler talked about it.
Yeah.
That I was thinking about having somebody go grab them for me and then ship them. Yeah, ship them.
Well, hey,
room on a Greyhound bus.
No, all you gotta do is ask Paul. He'll drive across country to drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, Greyhound will ship big stuff. I've seen them ship hoods, fenders.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure you're there.
Yeah.
When they go to drop off.
Yep.
They had.
Yeah, I know those ship hoods because a couple of my friends took a trip on Greyhound. They had no problem with them going either. Those guys did. Yeah.
Actually, we had gotten a notice from our solar panel company, and they said that one of our boxes wasn't hitting the numbers right, and they came out and changed all that over. And like I said, it. And I really wish I was here to talk to the guy, but some of those guys they're just technicians, dude. They don't,
right. That's right.
You ask them questions and they're like, man, don't you have something to do? Because they're just there to, change pieces and parts.
Right.
You're not going to find the nerd that knows or can answer your questions.
You need Tyler, the technician.
Yeah.
You need something.
Brian, how many panels you got on your house?
60 something. Wow. 64, 65, 68 maybe. I can't remember exactly.
Nice.
And it's I still don't, I don't want to say I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand all of it, because like I said, we're selling the power back, and there are times, I mean, it is nice when you get an electric bill and they owe you money. I mean, because we're buying it back at a reduced rate.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's, and like I said, I was really surprised. I figured back in the day when Jenny went into work, because she works from home here, I figure that would have been ideal because the house is empty. There's nothing running. And, you know, all the power is going back. But I'm really surprised even with her home all day. And, of course, now with because of no school, you know, everybody, I mean, the house is active and everything like that. I'm really surprised how low the bill is. Or, like I said, even when we get money back, even during the summer with the AC running. So,
no. Did you go with one of those companies that say, "Oh, we can put the panels on your house for free"? And it.
Yeah.
Now, how many batteries do you have?
We don't have any batteries.
No.
That's how mine is. I don't have batteries.
Because we're selling it back. We're just renting the roof off. Well, and we're in the power. We don't have. So if we lose power, I mean, if power goes out, we've lost power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have a battery room or a capacitor.
Have you thought about doing it?
Well, I've thought about. I've thought about. That's why, like I said, I'm not 100. I got to watch. I don't know 100% about this because we have a 20-year lease with them, and then afterwards we're done, and it's our problem. I mean, that's, you know, our problem up there. Then, you know, it's and then of course 20-year-old technology. It's not like, I guess, I could put a capacitor or a battery room to it. You know, again, I don't know. Of course, I look at this one in 20 years. I don't know if I'll be here. Huh?
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, you will.
We don't have a battery set up for ours either. And I hindsight 2020, I wish we did go with that. But now ours we're buying, and we looked into putting if we were to put a battery system in, and it's like another $15,000 to $20,000.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not there right now.
Well, let me ask you this: you might want to research it because there's a lot of guys that are building their own batteries or adding lithium ion batteries to their system, and I don't think it's really hard. I think it's part of the. See, I've been studying it for off grid.
Okay.
So I'll send you some links to guys I've been watching, but there's a couple guys out there really good.
Yeah.
Yep. So you might be able to, you know, $2,000, man, you can put together a nice battery system to hook up to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. Like I said, the times that I've looked into it, you know, of course, it's like everything else. And I'm sure you've probably ran into this thought. What you think about today, what you're going to do today, and by the time you get to it, the technology's all changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and eventually, I would imagine that, you know, they'll be better or easier to do that or whatever. Again, I don't know how much you know. Again, when you sign a contract with somebody, and how much do you have to play around with or tap into their, you know, because technically,
yes, there's stuff.
It's their, you know, that's like you guys talking about going out and buying 5 acres of land and building a big garage and having a little house on it. You know, dude, if you're not zoned right, they ain't gonna let you do that. Now you might think you could do it, and you might get away with it until somebody in a little white car with the emblem of the state drives by and says, "Hey, what's going on here?" So just because we live in America and it's supposedly free, it don't mean that.
Yeah. We have a couple, like where I used to live in East Palestine, where the big train accident.
Yeah.
I just lived there, right? And they had no zoning. I could build anything, just go crazy.
I mean, some places are crazy. I mean, that's like where I live. You know, you're not allowed to have commercial vehicles in front of your house.
Yeah, here too.
But I'm zoned. I'm actually, I have they call it. I've only ran into one time, but it's a labor zone or a masonry zone or whatever. Like, so if you have electrical company or a bricklaying company, you know, a small company, you're zoned for that. But I can only have one commercial vehicle, you know. Yeah. And there's guys that move in here. We got a guy that moved in and had a landscape company, and he's got 9 vehicles parked back there. And he, you know, of course, you're like, you wonder why they come out and give you everybody. Of course, they give one person a hard time, it's like, well, that guy does it, you know, and next thing you know, you got somebody knocking at your door. And, like I said, it's, I'm sure that other places, they might not have any zoning, but man, you got to know what you're doing before you start going.
Right.
It also depends on who complains too, because when we went through a thing where they were trying to sell a couple houses by us, they started complaining about the vehicles I had, and I had to move them around and do some stuff. Other than that, nobody cares. The county don't care as long as they're not being bothered by it. Once they're bothered by it, then they're all over me.
Yep. Hey, Isaac, I'll put my number in the private chat.
Okay.
Text me your number, and I'll send you some links.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some incredible guys, man, doing some really good stuff with this technology. I usually buy the wrong stuff the first 2 times, so I've been really doing a lot of research on the solar stuff because that's the biggest nut. You know what I mean?
That's I know exactly what you're saying.
I got stuff in here, man, that I never should have bought. I'm like, oh my god, why'd I buy that?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn a little extra.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's like I won't point any fingers or name anybody that starts with a B or anything. But you buy stuff to do your car, and it's 20 years later, and you're just hoping that style comes back around because.
Well, listen, that always happens.
Yeah.
You got your dated. You're talking about dated material.
But that's why I tell people, and we talked about this. Like I did that back in the 90s. I knew my car had to be done, and I had some money. I couldn't do the car, but I had some cash, and I started buying stuff. So I bought all the stainless steel brake lines and the braided hoses, and I bought like an Excel coil and some gauges and stuff I was gonna need. And some of it I can't find. It's here, but I can't find it. And now my brother kind of did the same thing, but he bought a set of billet wheels that were like laser flame cut, and he bought the matching steering wheel and mirror. And now when that car got built 20 years later and all that stuff was put in the car, it was like, oh, you built a retro car?
Yeah.
It was all passe already. It was like, no, man, that's what I wanted at the time. Like, yeah, that was a mistake. You don't buy anything that's like, if you want to buy a set of like Krager's and put them away, fine, but not the crazy stuff.
Yeah,
well, no, like you said, when you buy, I mean, the stuff that you bought was
like timeless, pretty much.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you buy stuff, a pair of fuzzy blue dice to go on your mirror. I mean, it's not.
Or if you have the 80s, 90s paint job with the multicolors on it, the pinks and
exactly. You better be building a Chaz John's car that was built back then, and people know it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna be the goat at the cruise nights.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've picked up a few magazines or seen some. They're showing stuff throwback to the 80s and 90s, and I'm like, oh my God, why were we into that? But I remember at the time I was like, that's so cool. I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it was cool for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the retro, like you said, because here.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And that's coming back now.
What's up, bad? Two-tone? That's a good look.
Yeah.
That's like a 3-tone, isn't it?
Too bad. Yeah, 'cause it's got that the yellowish orange fade. Yeah.
It's kind of coming back.
That's the hot lick today. If you can find the Silverado 85 Chevy, this casting is people fighting over it.
I was just at I stopped by the body shop today, and my buddy's son was telling me one of the guys he knows bought his dad bought a 77 Impala. goes, I don't know why he bought this car. He always wanted it. He paid like $2,000 for it. I said, is that the one with the back window that's like in 3 sections where, it like folds? He goes, yeah. I said, those cars are hot because of that rear window. He goes like, what? I'm like, I know it's before your time, but yeah, that's coming back around. And those cars are hot. Oh, yeah. Little Porsche.
Oh, that's nice.
And
that's
the 80s style. 80s retro
Porsche.
Yeah, well, I got one too.
There you go. Look at that.
Nice.
Hey guys,
that's like 1979, right? That's an 80. That's an oldie.
Oh, here's one for Lewis.
There it is. Pink Cadillac.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Is that a Hong Kong or Malaysia?
This is dated 1976.
These are mine.
Yeah, I know, but is it dated Hong Kong or Malaysia?
Malaysia.
If it was a Hong Kong car, it'd be about $300.
Wow. I'd be selling that thing fast.
And then in Malaysia, it's like $6 now, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's Malaysia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got to jump ship. I think you guys tricked me into staying on late.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll show you how much fun it is.
Yeah, all right. Hey, you guys have a good week and stay safe for me.
We'll do, Lewis.
You too. Be safe, Lewis.
All right, see you guys.
Brother.
I'll send you some more links, Isaac.
All right, no problem.
All right, see you.
All right, take care. Be safe.